From an unbelievable video of a suspension bridge collapsing right as a group of hikers walk across it, to a heavily modified drag car bursting into flames before it even leaves the starting line. Here are 5 more moments you wouldn't believe if not filmed. Aconcagua Park is a popular hiking destination in the Mendoza province of Argentina. Situated in the Andes Mountains, this area is rich with natural beauty and South American history. While fighting for Chilean independence, General Don José de San Martin crossed these mountains during a war with the Spanish Empire in 1818. For the hikers in this next video, though, they were less worried about independence and more concerned for their lives when an unexpected and violent mudslide came pouring down the trail they were climbing. The hikers have a good system going. One by one, they cross over the shallow mudslide and make it safely to the other side. 4 hikers make it across when suddenly, the guide in the white shirt hears something. He checks behind him and then looks overhead. He knows something bad is about to happen and scrambles to get everyone to safety. In the blink of an eye, the small river turns into a violent landslide of rock and mud. A landslide that would have doomed anyone caught in its path. The landslide eventually subsided, and the hiking party made it to the next stop. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, only walking away with a harrowing story to tell. The country of New Zealand is home to many incredible sights, one of which is Lake Waikaremoana. Here, hikers will often take a popular 46-kilometer journey that takes 3 to 4 days to complete. Along the way, there are several places to camp and even huts for rent. In October of 2015, 4 French hikers traveled to New Zealand to experience the Lake Waikaremoana Trail. The route has several suspension bridges meant to hold the weight of 10 people. Being well under that weight, all 4 felt comfortable crossing. Little did they know just how wrong they were. About halfway across, they heard a sudden snap, and the bridge toppled over, sending 3 of the 4 hikers into the river below. One of them, Roland, grabbed onto the rope and held on for dear life. Thankfully, the 8-meter fall landed them in shallow yet safe water. Nobody was hurt, but definitely shaken up. So, what happened? The left suspension wire snapped under the weight as they crossed. But wasn't the bridge supposed to support 10 people? A spokesperson for the Department of Conservation, or the DOC, said the bridge was built in 1994 and underwent regular maintenance checks. After investigating the collapse, the DOC blamed the failure on a rare manufacturing defect. One of the cable links snapped, something the inspector wouldn't have noticed. Thankfully, our French hikers pulled themselves out of the water and pressed forward on their journey. The Bangkok Drag Avenue Raceway sits on the northern outskirts of Thailand's capital city. It's where thrill seekers and speed demons alike go to compete in drag races. The cars that race here are tuned like their video game counterparts. Sometimes, though, over-tuning can lead to disaster. Back in February of 2020, one man learned this the hard way when his car burst into flames before even making it off the starting line. However, if his car was doomed to catch fire from the start, moving only a few feet was probably a good thing. This whole situation could have been much more dangerous had he been further down the track. As soon as the fire began, rescue workers jumped into action, pulling the driver to safety and dousing the fire with flame-retardant foam. It takes a while to get the fire under control, but track workers eventually calm it down. At one point, they try opening the hood with their bare hands. You know, the hood that was just on fire. Thankfully, our driver wasn't hurt in the blaze. Like we said, he's lucky the car went up in flames at the starting line. These drivers buckle in pretty tight in the event of a crash, making car fires even more dangerous. Most car fires trace back to an electrical failure. According to OSHA, oil isn't technically flammable, meaning it doesn't ignite at 200 degrees. Instead, it ignites between 300 and 400 degrees, and under normal circumstances, your engine should never get that hot. However, the custom mods on a drag racer paired with a little bit of bad luck is definitely a recipe for disaster. You can go viral for just about anything these days. While most viral videos involve cats or TikTok dances, some continue to subvert our expectations in the best ways possible. One chicken farmer in Tongrenshi, China, decided to put his flock to good use while out on the road. Armed with nothing but his whistle, the farmer gathered his several hundred chickens for feeding time. Thankfully, they didn't turn him into dinner. Now, we're not sure why all of his chickens are scattered across the mountainside, but hey, if it works, it works. The farmer lays into his whistle and chickens fly in from every direction. They gather on the road and form a sea of poultry. Meanwhile, the farmer lays out piles of feed for them to enjoy. It was a pretty bizarre and interesting moment, and definitely one you don't see every day. Davos, Switzerland is an alpine resort town known for its luxurious ski slopes. It's also the host city for the World Economic Forum. You know, where all the global elites meet to concoct their evil plans and laugh menacingly. However, even the 1% aren't impervious to natural disasters. Well, as far as we know. Back in January of 2019, a group of Swiss soldiers were hanging around base camp when they saw some snow moving in the mountains. They all pulled out their phones and gasped in awe of the incoming avalanche. It's funny how these things look so small when they're so far away. It's only until the wall of ice and snow was right on top of them that they thought to turn and run.
Sollte man echt in den Eckig gehen? Ich glaube, wir sollten dran scheinen, nicht? Ja. Ja, Nadi, mach mal die Türen zu! Jo! Oh, Alter!
We're fine, right? Right? The famous last words of anyone that is definitely not fine. These Swiss soldiers are trained to kill and survive in any conditions. They weren't about to let a little snow ruin their day. It almost looks like the soldiers were excited to run away from the snow, like they got some sick kick of adrenaline from risking their lives. Thankfully, they all made it to safety and waited out the passing avalanche before digging themselves out. Here's a quick piece of advice. If you see an avalanche heading your way, don't wait until the last second to run away. It's probably not worth the adrenaline rush. Kangaroo Island is exactly what it sounds like. Situated off the south coast of Australia, the island is home to over 60,000 kangaroos compared to only 5,000 people. Specifically, it's home to the western grey giant kangaroo, also referred to as the black-faced kangaroo or simply the Kangaroo Island kangaroo. The island is a popular tourist destination for people who, well, want to see kangaroos. However, these creatures aren't always fun and games. Sometimes you stumble upon a pair of males caught up in a fistfight. When that happens, get ready to place your bets on the best boxing match you'll see all year. While heading down a wide dirt road, the driver rolls up on two male kangaroos deadlocked in a fistfight. They balance on their tails and hind legs while throwing haymakers at each other. However, the deadliest tool in a kangaroo's arsenal is their feet. They kick and punch before suddenly getting low to the ground, like they're both willing to call it cool. Most male kangaroo fights are over a lady kangaroo they're interested in. However, they'll also square up over food, territory, and dominance. Sometimes they even duke it out just for fun. Kangaroos learn to fight as soon as they leave their mother's pouch, and Mamaroo is the one giving the boxing lessons. For the pair in this video, they both walked away without any major injury, ready to fight another day. Well, that's all we have for you today. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.